Nkonyeni. Siyathola kakhulu ukuba khona kwakho, and the same vein, apologize for MEC Fraser, who's the MEC for Education, who couldn't be with us because of prior engagement. But of course, indeed, we know putting a KC on our corner. Let me also greet ukuyithoba abefundisi abakhona. Abefundisi kakhulukazi osivulela inkonzo nabo bonke abafundisi abakhona. Khona itafula abahleli kulona siyabona. Siyabona umoya ongcwele phakathi kwethu. Let me greet the retirees of the department who worked with us. Some retired quite a long time ago, almost 10 years ago, and Dr. Mbokazi is one of them. And there's also Dr. Gumede, Dr. Nkosinathi, who were with us at head office. They retired many years ago, but and it makes us happy because it actually gives hope to all of us. When we see people who have retired looking like this, then we feel there's no fear fearing aging. There's no reason why we should fear aging. Because you can still be like these men and women who look so good. Even after they've retired. All my colleagues from head office, top management, DDG Hadebe, and chief directors who are here, as well as directors, particularly directors from other districts. I've seen Mr. Mabins are from Gumede district, and the former official of this department, who is now chief director of this school, Ms. Njakazi. Let me greet Nkonyeni, the district director of Chonco, and your entire MANCO, and all the officials of the department. There are also principals of schools which I would like to greet. Because they are in our schools every day while we are in our offices and head office. Of course, we do go to the ground and see our schools. But there are 6,000 of them, so we can't be there every minute, every day in those schools. And it is those principals who are there daily, every minute. They are there in our schools, making sure that there is education and that the vision of the department is kept alive. Teachers present, particularly their leadership in the form of leaders of teacher unions who are here, and was not having a lady, the answer finance having a lady, about home. The unions. I'm looking at the football. But lastly, let me greet all the invited guests, the honored guests, particularly those who have come from retirement and they are here, but also all the guests that have graced this occasion. Ordinarily, on an occasion like this, there shouldn't be really what is called a keynote address, given the fact that it's December. You can't be expected to be making a serious speech in December. So I'm not going to make a serious speech, but this is a very important occasion, I must say. I did ask Mr. Sibiya what this occasion was about, because I'm a Methodist. I must declare that in the Methodist Church, when we are going to speak, you have to know that there's going to be a theme into whatever you are going to be saying to us. So when we leave, we must know what we are talking about. Even if there are many things we have said, but there must be one thing at least that all of us go out and say, this is what this occasion was about, and this is what we're talking about. And Mr. Sibiya did give us what the theme of this occasion is. He said, the theme is in the book of Psalm 103. Hymn 103. The hymn 103 says, Bonge uJehova mphefumulo wami, konke okuphakathi kwami ngakudumisa igama lakhe. But verse 2 says, and if you can see what, that he actually knows what this hymn is about. Verse 2 in that hymn says, Mbonge uJehova mphefumulo wami, ungakhohlwa imisebenzi yonke yakhe emihle. That's what this thing is about. And it therefore means that that's the message that he wanted us to actually pass on to this. And we're very impressed by that. It's not the only thing that impresses us about what Mr. Sibiya and his National Committee have done. When I look at the program, I'm looking for his name where he appears on the program. And I can't find it. And that on its own is actually a lesson. So, but it's not the first lesson. I think the first lesson that we all can come up with from here is that he has invited all colleagues who have contributed in the department, whether they have retired or they are currently serving, but who have contributed to the success of the department and of this district in particular. He has invited them here, which is a lesson of a leader who looks ahead, but also doesn't forget where he comes from. In Greek mythology, there's something called the Janus look. And that comes from the month of January, is named after that Greek god, Janus. And the Greek god, Janus, the myth goes to say, he had eyes on the forehead and eyes at the back, almost like January. When you stand in January, you're looking ahead, but also you're looking backwards where you come from. And inviting all these colleagues symbolizes exactly that although we are here, we haven't forgotten where we come from and people who have contributed. And the district felt that they had to be invited because they have contributed to the success of the district. That's lesson one. The lesson two, which is also very important, is that all the glory must be directed to where it belongs. And that the biblical adage that says, uqala ukuhlakanipha ungumesaba uJehova. It shows here, and it also shows that the district understands that everything we are, everything we achieve, including the very fact that we are breathing here, we are alive, and we are breathing oxygen that we didn't buy, that God just provided by His grace. That everything is through God's grace. And that is why the hymn or the psalm that Mr. Sibiya referred us to says, it says, because we are all here, everything that we have achieved is not necessarily because we are clever or are better than others, but it's simply the grace of God, which is given freely without checking whether we deserve it or not. Deserving is not part of what God does when He gives us His grace. I mean, grace is given just freely. So we've learned those two lessons. Of course, we must thank the district and actually say, this district has made us proud as a province, because for the past 4 years it has been the top district in our province. And they have been representing us as well at national level. When results are announced by the Minister of Education, in the past 3 years, Mr. Sibiya has been ascending the stage in Pretoria to receive some award, either for making the top 10 in the country, or for excelling in some or other subject within, in the country. Last year, in the last awards, of course, which took place early this year for 2022, he ascended the stage as the 8th performing district in the country as a whole. I think we had 2 representatives in that top 10, because which is dominated by Gauteng, Free State, and dominated the numbers are Free State, 8 districts, Sibiya, what do they Let's say about number 1. But 2 of our districts were there, and Gumede district was there, and the remarkable thing is that both those districts are rural in nature. They serve rural communities, predominantly African schools, and that was Gumede district and Nkonyeni district. They were in the top 10. But of course, I think Nkonyeni, they were raising that podium for the first time. Sibiya had raised it before. Each time results are announced, if you are watching on TV, and that's going to happen again on the 18th of January 2024, the Minister of Education, Honorable Nkosinathi, will say, Oku district, and he will remind us that Yezalo must be Now the whole country knows that Honorable Nkosinathi is born of a Sibiya because of the achievements of this district. Not only has this district been doing well over the past 4 years, just in terms of being number 1, but they have shown a consistent improvement in terms of the quality of passes that they actually deliver. And if you look at where they are coming from and how they've turned things around, just before they got to the number 1 position, In 2016 or 17, they were number 6. The district was number 6. Or that would have been 2016, because then in 2017, they shot up from number 6, the district shot up from number 6 to number 2. And that was the last time they were second. Then from 2018 up to now, they came first. Of course, I have held this place in the province. So maybe it might not be the right thing for me to say. It might not be the right thing to say that we are almost certain that again in 2024, Mr. Sibiya is going to ascend the stage as we want to. But of course, if he doesn't, and you do, it's going to be like, we'll be fine. We'll be happy either way. But it's very likely. In your mind, because it's going to happen, and it's very likely to happen. Today is actually a day, and absolutely a day where we should not be boring you with long speeches. With that being said, let me congratulate you once again that you have for all these years been a beacon of hope for this department, and you have put us in the map as a district. Together with your management committee, together with your extended management committee in the form of second managers, because now and together with your principals, both at the GET level as well as at the FET level, because we tend to make the mistake of only focusing, especially when there are awards, for instance, we tend to focus on what our NSC results are. And we tend to forget that it all starts at that foundation that is given and where these principles are there. And that's one lesson and one message that we should see from the fact that we're looking backward and we're looking ahead. So when we look backwards, we have to see that everything we have, the foundation started when that child, when that 5-year-old was admitted into grade 1. And now, of course, even when the younger ones, the 4-year-olds, get admitted to our centers, that's where the foundation starts, and that is what Mr. Sibiya has taught us. That is what he has done, really. Among the lessons that he has taught us. Dr. Mbokazi is indicating that he might be retired, and I'm not sure about that because I honestly things as facts once I've seen something in writing. But which will remain that until confirmed. At some point. But if those rumors are true, we will truly always be proud, and even after Mr. Sibiya is gone from this district, we know that the district will still perform well. Because you didn't lead alone, you had your MANCO, you had your extended MANCO, you had your principals, and we know how you handle the district. So every year, or in some years, things are worse than others. In terms of our long meetings, with we sometimes do have very long meetings. I think we recently had one not long ago. Yeah. So I can recognize it because I was waiting one long time. Every year when that happens, in this district, the meetings are never that long. Yeah, they're long, but not that long. And of course, I asked him how it happened that in some cases we get calls at midnight where people say, we're still here. There is this question that's being asked at 1 minute past 12. And I asked Sibiya one day, why is it that you have never called me to say you have a problem? He did give me his answer. Of course, which I will share with all district directors. But the long and short of it is that, the summary of it is that he says, myself and my MANCO are one. And therefore, one of the things that I do is to simply say that none of my MANCO members are going to respond. I am going to respond. Because they report to me. And all their functions, all the functions that are under them, I'm familiar with. And therefore, I will take accountability. Now, that's one way that the meeting gets shortened. Because if it were not for that, then we start with this one, this CS, we go to that deputy director, we go to that deputy director. Whereas in the Sibiya approach, the meetings are shortened. There are many things that we've learned from him. Some of them are things that he says just in passing, and advice that he gives just in passing. One of the advice that he gives, for example, he says, if you are standing next to a river, or uthi mjabule lo mawunendlela mjabulele khanya udlule wesibili umdabule ukhiphe emanzini udlule wesithathu umdabule ukhiphe emanzini maqhamuka wesine umyeke esukupwa nomfula uyobheka ukuthi ubani okhotha abantu bomfula. In other words, from that illustration we say, don't try to solve just symptoms. Go deal with the source. And in the process of dealing with the source, so those are the things we shall remember him by, just besides the good results that he has given us. We wish you all the best as a district. In the NSC results that are going to be released, but I've already said that you are likely to be among the top districts. And may the good Lord keep you safe and all of us safe until we meet again next year in January, particularly on the 19th of January when the results will be announced. Thank you very much.